Are you ready to walk down a path of enchantment? Dilly Dallying in Dollyworld takes you to a reality with beings ranging from angels to listeners, all sharing thoughts on divergent subjects from desserts to messages from beyond. Produced by Haggy Shack Radio's Colleen Kelly and broadcasting over the Wolf Spirit Radio Network. Dilly Dallying in Dollyworld with Dolly Howard begins now.
And we are live.
Alrighty then. We've had last-minute type things happening, so we're having our special guest. And let me do all the stuff first. You're listening to Haggy Shack Radio, who simulcasts with Wolf Spirit Radio somehow. Colleen makes the magic happen there, and they all play nice together. They both have donation buttons on their sites. If you go to Wolf Spirit Radio, you can sign up for the subscriptions to the archives. For the first week after a show airs live, they are free. After that, Colleen moves them over to the subscription archives, where you pay $5 a month, and it's not automatically renewed. So that's all up to you. That's the way Dave wanted it. And okay. And he still wants it that way. He says he knows there's some conflict about it, but that's too damn bad. Okay, he's in a mood. Okay. I don't mind you chit-chatting in the chat room. I mean, that's what it's there for. But please keep all caps to only things you want Colleen or me or Nancy to see, or Dave. And we'd love to have your questions and comments. So when you chat among yourselves, please use lowercase, not all caps. I did that. When you go to Haggy Shack Radio and do a donate, please make a little note in the place where you can make a note in that PayPal thingy, because Colleen takes donations for Sienna. She set up let me think. She set up an account special for Sienna for donations that go to Sienna for her blind books, Braille books for the blind, because Sienna has been blind since birth. And she likes to read, and those books, folks, are very, very, very expensive. So whatever little amount of money you can donate will add up to the other donations that people send in. Or if you want to send in a big donation, God bless you. And you can do it. Don't kill yourself to do this, you know. If you can't, just send her love. Also, so if it goes to Sienna for the Braille books, please put in the little notation, Sienna. She also has a thing where if you donate $30 then or more, then Nancy and Colleen make sure that you get $30 worth of S4 Shungite stickers. And I can't tell you enough, y'all. It really, really is changing my life and Net's life. Okay, the donation. Okay. And also, if you're donating just for, other than you don't want the Shungite stickers, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't, but maybe you have less money than $30, but you want to donate something, then just put a little note on the little notation that this goes for Haggy Shack Radio, so that she can distinguish between Sienna and Haggy Shack Radio. I did the donation thing. I think I hit everything. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And in case you have not, Walt, I love you too, honey. Did you say that? Oh, I love you too, Walt. I saw the all caps. See, it got my attention. And Dave says he loves you too, Walt. So, in case you all haven't guessed, Dave is here. And Nancy's going to interview him again. Believe me, it was his choice. He woke Nancy up from a nap. He definitely got my attention. Kept bugging me until I paid attention. And then I went in Skype, and Nancy and I had a little chit-chats, and then I had an accidental thing again where there she was talking to me because I hit a button, but I didn't even know I hit it. So the last hour for sure has been very hectic for me. And before I forget, I want to draw an angel card. Dave and I have had a discussion about this angel card drawing. I'm doing it, damn it. He's saying, damn it, Dolly. Okay. Angels, please look at those who are here now and those who will be listening in the archives. And let me draw just a perfect card for everybody. Dave, back off, please, so I can feel the angels. I need to find the right card. Okay. It's between these two cards. Whew, boy, Dave. No, it's angels. Not that one. It's this card. That's for darn sure. Oh, and I didn't open my thing so I can read it to you. Hold on. I gotta put you guys down there so I can open this angel card file. Oh, the Divine Mother. Unconditional love. Card number 1. The Divine Mother. Unconditional love. When receiving this card, know you are being showered with divine love and compassion from the Divine Mother. She feels your heart. She feels your joy, your sorrow, and everything in between. She knows you at your deepest level without a shadow of a doubt. She is with you, dear one, and she wants you to know this. She also wants you to know that you are loved no matter what. She does not judge. There is no criticism, no judgments, and no comparisons. She loves you as you are. She knows you are at your purest level, and she loves you unconditionally. Sit with this card and feel her love for you. Give thanks to the Divine Mother for this blessing. Colleen, my power is flickering. If I disappear, you know why. Lost power. Okay. Now I'm going to post this for you all in the chat room. If I can find you. You all seem to hide on me when I do that. Here you are. Okay, now you can read the card, what the card was that I drew at your own convenience. And those who listen in the archives will know what it was too. Okay, now see, Dave, we did it. Thank you, angels. Thank you very much, Divine Mother. Okay, let's chill. Okay, yes, it was the perfect card, Vanessa. At least I thought so. Okay, what's going on here? We are recording, says Nancy. Okay. So, Nancy, you want to come in and give me a little breather here?
If I can get my mic open, yeah. Yes, when we did we're calling this the live interview with a dead man, because when we did the first one, it was, again, Dolly accidentally hitting something on the Skype that called me, and then, Dave, we decided to do the Christmas message, and then Dave showed up. That was all recording. It was never live. And so then last week when I was on with Dolly, I said, why don't we ask Dave if he'll do a live show, if he'll, and he was like, I'm too busy. But then he said something that made me think, oh, maybe not so busy, So it didn't surprise me when I was taking a nap, and all of a sudden, like, I'm okay, as soon as I think I had Dolly in my head when I opened up my eyes. I'm going like, oh, Dolly. And I looked at the clock. I said, okay, what's the problem? And then I'm going like, you want to do what? Okay. So I got up and as soon as I opened up the machine, it was like Dolly was there calling me again. And so I knew from the get-go that, Dave was absolutely in charge of whatever was happening now.
Absolutely.
And I got to tell you, he's so funny because he'll like when I was doing the taping thing to put it up on YouTube and stuff and get it ready and everything. I had a bunch of clips. I would take a clip out and it was 4 hours of recording. It took me over 10 hours to put this thing together because what happened was I'd take something out and then a little bit later I'd go, what the hell is that doing back in there? And I take it out again. Well, it did this about 3 times before I realized, he wanted that in there, and there wasn't anything I was going to do to take it out. And then things would show up, and I'm going, where'd that come from? Right? So then when I got into the last, I guess it probably was about half an hour, and I'm putting together the clips that had him speaking. I had actually done that a year ago on the anniversary of his death. And I did not know Dave, and for a whole year I'm going like, what is the matter with these people? Does this guy walk on water? Because everybody that knew him had such an unbelievable, oh yeah, Dave Corso. I mean, I didn't hear anybody say anything bad about him, and everybody was you would touch an emotion in him when you said his name, but I didn't know him, and I'm going like, who is this guy? So then on a year after he died, I put together these clips, and he guided me through, go to this place and look at this and Well, by the end of it, I had a real appreciation for who he was when he was a 3D energy and what he knew and what he did and what he said. And he made me take out all these clips. So when I was putting this together, I said, we got all those clips. So I go back to those clips. Well, he had me clip the clips. No, I want that in there. Take that out. I mean, sometimes it was a sentence, and it was so funny to me because it was like, okay. And so, but then when I started working, I mean, I never felt the 10 hours. It was just such oh my God, the energy that came off of that particular recording. Okay, Dave, I'm going to shut up in a minute, just a second. And I'm saying, he's talking to me, hurry up, But what was so amazing about those clips is that message was so important to him to get across. Just so out of all those hundreds and hundreds of hours, thousands of hours probably, and it took a year to do it. Now in his time, a year is nothing. But I realized when I was working with it that we were right back to that when we first started working with him. He was just finessing it. And the energy in the tape was so amazing that I kept playing it. Even though I was ready, I just kept playing it. And I was staring at the picture that he wanted up there. And I have never tweaked a picture as much as I tweaked that. No, over here. Put that over. No, I don't like it there. I must have readjusted that picture a good 24 times.
Is that the one with the wolves?
Yeah.
Oh, and he wanted that one special wolf picture.
Yeah, he's amazing to work with. But so I don't know what his message is. I kept saying that I was going to make a list of questions, but I just ran out of time to do it. Why don't we ask Dave first off, does he have something that he wants to, set the agenda up with?
Well, he wants me to say that he's liking that we caught on to his phrase unity, the word unity. He has been hearing it more and more since the new year started. And he wants us to continue using the words that 2017 is going to be the year of unity. He says, because it is going to be. He says, even since between now and the 1st of January, there has been so much unity that never was before. And not just him over there, but others that are over there too, they're all rejoicing that people really, truly are starting to come together. And he says that Trump is doing a good job because Trump is twittering, of all things. Twittering. And it's scaring the bejeebers out of all the politicians and all the people who are behind the scenes running us, running the countries, trying to be the big bosses, you know. They are all so scared since the first Twitter he did, or tweeter, whatever you call it. Okay, Dave. Dave says Twitter, Dolly. Okay. So, he thinks, he says, now remember I told you before, Trump is gonna change things so much that it's gonna make our heads spin. And he says, even when it seems to be bad, it's a good thing because we are all starting to think. We are all opening our brains, even to say, I don't like Trump. He's not a person I want. Dave, don't use naughty words. He says, even that has made people wake up to the fact that, to the point where they're saying, I don't like him being in there. Before they were asleep and they didn't give a poop. Because things were going on and on, just like the day before and the year before. But he says now things are going to be explosive and be ready. And for the show, he says, Nancy, I never have any fears that you will come up short of questions. And when you're going to trigger some things in him. He knows this. He was told this. And so when he does, he's going to butt in and say stuff. So please don't take offense.
I never take offense. How many times has he,
smacked you upside the head?
He's done that, and he's, what was it that he said? Stop putting my nose where it didn't belong. Remember that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, you go where angels tread to go.
Fear to tread.
Fear to tread, right.
Whatever. I'm really having trouble. Oh my God, the energy is unbelievable. And I tried it.
Okay, let's go someplace that's kind of a little bit more grounded, because he was talking in terms of unity, and I agree. I mean, I've been laughing because we've had a number of people that wanted to be guests this week, and every one of them that came on started talking about unity and the unification of efforts and how we can work together. Even this guy by the name of Aaron Bennett, who wrote an amazing, well, he didn't really write it, he compiled a book of people who had mental illness. And he did it to bring unity to the people that are out there that have it, because, even in the concept of you've got a problem, come together and fix that problem, not the major problems, but it's like there's more and more activity of people being drawn into almost like group help environments. And I agree with him. It's like this wave of all of a sudden I've got to get with other people, whereas before I think we were tending to stay back. And then we had Royce Gay on, and he's the great grandson of Crazy Horse. And so Royce kept going into unity, and I mean, it was just, the man is brilliant. It was just such a sweet experience to be on with him. And for some reason, well, because he kept saying unity, I told him that, about Dave, and Dave saying that 2017 is going to be the year of unity. And he got really, there was a change in Royce's energy, and he said, I don't even remember what he said to set it up, but he said that Dave, somebody by the name of Dave came to him and told him, and I don't even remember what he told him, because as soon as he said the word Dave, I was like, oh my God, Dave is responsible for Royce being here? You know what I'm saying? So what I want to know from Dave is, did he approach Royce Gay, and who is he to us? What should we do for him? I mean, obviously he's got some agenda for us to be introduced to him. Is there anything he wants to say?
When you were talking with him and Royce said he heard from this guy Dave, I said, does he realize it's Dave Corso? Because Dave said that. But nobody saw it. He'll address them when appropriate to him. Okay. And so we were talking Dave and Royce. Yes, Dave says he has visited with Royce, and Royce doesn't remember some of this stuff because it's planned that way. But when Royce is in certain situations, the words that they were talking are going to come out of Royce, and Royce is going to sit there and wonder, where the heck did that come from? So, yeah, I think it was our Dave who was talking to him.
In the second part of the question, is there something that we should do? Is there,
for Royce?
Does he want to tell us more about Royce? Is there more information?
Royce is very important right now, but they want him to be doing, he's doing what he should be doing right now, because they don't want him in full-blown attention at this point in time. He has an important mission, and he's going to accomplish it the most by not being so popular. And he will come to a place where media will pick up on what he said. The media that is told what to say, but they're going to talk about him briefly, Dave says. And then because of the pressures the news media is going to be getting, they're going to drop him like a hot potato, but his message will have gotten out, and then he needs to scoot to safety. He said, I see Royce being surrounded by spiritual protection after that happens. And that's all he's going to share with us about Royce. Just send your prayers for him to whoever you pray to. And your thoughts, if you don't pray to anybody, please send good thoughts his way, because thoughts are energy, and energy is real. And that's all he has to say about Royce.
Okay. Now, Royce, of course, is working with the Standing Rock people. Is there any further message, because we know how proud he is of the veterans and how he is excited about the situation in Standing Rock, but is there any kind of a message or anything that he sees that he wants to deliver regarding Standing Rock?
He says, Standing Rock is playing out just the way it needs to play out, just the way they want it to play out. Well, he says he didn't want people getting hurt. No, nobody wanted people getting hurt, but you gotta clean up your language. But not so nice people who were firing the guns and making... No, he's saying, Dolly, actually those people went there knowing that was going to happen. Not knowing in this time, but when they came here, they knew that this was going to happen. And he says it had to happen to them because without it, they wouldn't have gotten the attention that they got, and some people wouldn't have seen for themselves and woken up more to the fact that these bad people that there really are bad people in this world, and they've been here all the time. And just because you're burying your head in the sand doesn't mean the bad people aren't there. And this is bringing to some people, a group of the people, it's really waking them up to that fact that, yes, there are bad people in this world, and we cannot let them get away with this crap. And therefore, it comes into making more unity. And that group of people is going to be joining with other groups of people who've already been awake and realized what was going on, or the groups of people who realized it was going on but didn't realize to the extent it was going on. He says all this is uniting people in just this one incident. There's going to be more incidents, and when people do get hurt, it's not, I can't really say it's okay, because even he doesn't want to say it's okay, but it's a planned thing before this time, not today.
To help open people's eyes to the corruption and all that's going on?
Yes. Okay. Dave says there will be a group of veterans who will be there with Royce, and they'll make sure that Royce gets there. But please, donations always help. So if you can, donate. But he says Royce will get there he's showing me with some people that Royce wants to be there. There's some people that Royce wants to be there, and he will have most of those people, not all of them, will be able to go with him. Not just because of finances, but because of health issues, because of family issues, because of other issues, work issues. He says there's some people that just won't be able to go, but most of the people he wants with him will be there. Plus, he'll have others he didn't even know were going to be there that are for him. Oh,
okay, would this be talking about the D.C. trip where he wants to bring the kids to the inauguration?
It's not just the D.C. trip. Royce is going to be taking many trips he doesn't even know he's going to take. And he's not going to share with me where. He says, why would you tell the enemy your secrets?
Exactly.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have thought, let's tell everybody. Well, no, let's not. We'll let them find it for their own. I took my key off to take my shower, and I forgot to put it back on. I see Walt's telling me use the key to stabilize yourself. When we take the break, I'll go and get my key.
You don't need it on you. Just think of it in your mind and pull the energy.
Okay. He's right. It is helping. And it's kind of upset I left it in the drawer. Get over it. Okay, I do feel calmer. Thank you, Walt. Thank you. So, what's your next question, Nancy?
I want to ask him if he can. I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to get the communication because it's a little bit. Well, here it is. Yesterday, Cindy and I, my friend, were talking about people because we were talking about Dave's tape, and she wants to know when somebody dies, when people die, do they all go to the same place? Do they all see the same thing, or do they see initially what they think they're going to see?
They do not all go to the same place. Boy, there's a lot there. Hold on just a minute. It depends on the person. It depends on what they wanted to do and what they got done when they were here. Because you don't always get done what you think you're going to do when you're over there, because over there you don't have limitations that we have here, like of the body or of the rule or the law that might affect what you wanted to do in some. So anyway, it's okay, different. It's okay. Okay. They don't all go to the same place because they go to where they need to be in order to be able to make the transition smooth for them. Some people don't have an easy transition because they really have forgotten. And even though they cross over the river of memory, it's too much for them, and it takes them a while to recover. So there's kind of a recovery place where those people go, and they're helped along slowly at their own paces. And he says, we all have bunches of angels over here. Well, they're still with us when we cross over. And so they help the people who can't really transition so easily. There's other people that are so strong when they cross over in their belief that they definitely go to where they think they're going to go. It might be what really is, and it might be that they also need to be gently taken to what's really there and where they really are. He says nobody is forced into anything, especially anything bad. He says there isn't bad stuff there. And some people, when they cross over, I don't know how to say that. I can see it, but I don't know how to say it. I don't know words for it. The English language is so hard sometimes. Okay, like for instance, a baby will be in the mother's womb just for a certain amount of time, but that was that experience. The lady wanted to experience being pregnant, but she wasn't quite ready for the responsibility of the child for one reason or another. Even though on the outside it might look like she wasn't ready. And so she agreed with the soul that wanted to experience being a baby in a womb, and they agreed to have the experience together. And so when the baby goes back, the baby just isn't a baby. The baby is the soul that was in the lady's womb. But the experience of that is what was wanted by both parties. And so it was the experience that was desired and that was met. And when the baby goes back, it's just kind of the baby picks up where the baby left off, but the baby has that knowledge. The poor mother suffers, but I guess that's kind of what she signed up for, because she wanted that experience, he says. Human life here on Earth is about the experiencing of being in a human form with the human constraints, because a soul doesn't have a constraint, whereas when the soul is put in the body, there's a whole bunch of constraints. I mean, everything in the body has to work perfectly for the body to function, and when it doesn't run perfectly, then it has some little things that it can't do, like a fully functioning body can do. But some of the souls come in because they want to experience that inability to not have a fully functioning body. And then when they cross over, most of them realize, hey, yeah, that was the experience I wanted, and they learn what they wanted to learn from it, or experience the feelings of it. Because over there you have different kinds of what we consider feelings. Experiences. Am I okay with that? Can I quit on that one?
Yes, you can quit anytime you feel like you're over it.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't the same for everybody, is what he says. Say, Dolly, it isn't the same for everybody. It's the perfect thing at the perfect time for the perfect soul.
Okay, when he passed over, did he have, I mean, first off, are the dogs with him? Are the wolves with him?
Yes.
Is he in a, huh?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Okay, so, is he in a place that, I'm wondering in the concept of manifestation. It's like, to me, if he's who I think he is or what I feel he is, he can just kind of like create an environment around himself. And,
yes.
Just at a whim. I think I'll go to the ocean today and, just create an ocean environment. Or I need to go over to Standing Rock and I need to touch somebody over there. And so it just kind of materializes. It's like whatever he thinks starts to happen.
He can do that. Yeah. He says, yeah, but when you get over there, you don't really want to just go to the ocean, because that's the Earth experience. He says, when you're over there, there's these things that you want to do that aren't really earthbound type things, yet they're things that help those who are on the earth. He says, oh my gosh, I can see these pictures, and I wish I could project the pictures for y'all. You can make over there whatever you want to make the scene at that moment that you want to make it. But he says, like himself, he's very busy doing different things, yet it all is working toward the goal of the one. I wanted to say of the one thing, but he has corrected me. And he says it's all for the goal of the one. Which is why the one split off into all these pieces, so that more can be done simultaneously. And the one wanted to have all these different experiences, and so we who are the splinters of the one are experiencing those things for the one. And he is not able to go any farther with what he just said.
Okay.
Did that answer?
Yeah, it's very profound. I sort of stumbled into that same kind of a concept that, the one, God, the source God, being all powerful, anytime the source God thought, it would create. And we're just part of the creation, to experience, and that's why, again, comes back to the unity thing. Everybody that you meet is a piece of the source God.
Mm-hmm. Whether they believe it or not.
Whether they believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. He wanted me to say that.
Yeah, it's the only thing that seems to make sense.
Yeah.
Now, when he's out there and he's working, is he? What did he say? What's he say?
He's saying, let me think how to say it right. The world didn't just get a mind. Earth did not get a mind of its own and all of a sudden go bam, and it's Earth and it's created all these things on it. He says he doesn't understand atheist people because a true atheist doesn't believe anything. So how can you function when you don't believe anything? But the Earth, they're here living on the Earth, and the Earth didn't just, bam, decide to create itself. It was created. And actually, we had a part in it. And that's what I was snickering about. Oh, Net's home. You're online already? How did you get online already? It says, Skype just said Annette's online. Oh, her computer's not turned off. Okay, so, that's all he's saying about the Earth. He says, for you people that think that the Earth just went bam and there it was, well, he's just laughing at you.
So essentially, the Creator God created a Creator consciousness that created Earth.
No, he says it was worked at. It was worked at. It was literally worked at to bring it to the state it is now. And it had its destroy part and start over. Not completely destroyed, but a start over because things just weren't going the way that everyone decided they wanted them to go. So it's been kind of a trial and error thing. Like we're doing. It's all an experiment. It's all an experience. Not an experiment, an experience. So it was created. It has been created and recreated.
When he's out there, is he with people that he knows from the 3D, or does he interact with other beings that... One time we asked him where was he and what was he supposed to be doing, and he said, I'm supposed to be deciding what to do next, but I've decided not to. Does he have other people that have made that same decision, that are sort of like uniting in a group in order to more effectively influence us that are still here?
Well, he says there are people there who haven't decided what they want to do next, but it's not necessarily because they want to work with us Earthlings. It's because they just haven't decided. There's too many good choices to make. And they're kind of resting and recuperating before they put all their energies into something else. He says they can come and go to the places and try them out and see if they like it. But that's all he can tell me about that.
Now, he's on the other side. We know that, and to me that means he's operating at a frequency that is faster than the speed of light, that he's just in a faster speed. When he's there, does he perceive different dimensions? Is there the concept of dimension separation? Is there also multi-universe in that there's multiple versions of Earth? Is it the same kind of concepts that we see, we think we see from the 3D perspective? Or when you're faster than light, does any of that even enter into it? I don't know if that was clear.
Yeah, I get it, but he's saying, I can't go into that. These are things that cannot be shared.
Okay.
If he tells you everything, what do you got to learn? No. Also, if you know everything, then you'll lose the experiences that you want to experience here. It'll take the desire to do that away. He says, no, it's not a good thing for y'all to know what goes on. You'll know sometime.
Okay.
Contact with loved ones who have crossed over. Yeah, he says, yeah, he's definitely in touch because he can't tell me that. Yeah, people. He says, we're talking on a soul level. Souls know souls. Souls work together. And sometimes the souls over there have disagreements, but it's done in love. It's that love that I have experienced that I cannot explain when I was over there, the love I've experienced over there. But I can't explain it to you. It's love. It's all-encompassing, complete love. No judgments, no. And so he says that's all he can say about that.
Well, Colleen, do you have any questions? Is there any questions in chat coming up? Your mic on? Colleen.
Oh. How's that?
Good. Better.
Okay. If questions come up, I'm putting them here in the Skype chat. The last question was mine, even though I didn't put it in all caps. And since he can't say any more about that, then I'll have to think of something else.
You girls want to know everything.
Well, yeah. That's why we went to Wolf Spirit Radio to begin with.
He's laughing. Nosy little women.
So, what does he want to tell us to think about in regards to maybe what we should do on a daily basis? He was a super soldier. He was taught many things, and in his last interviews he was talking about the fact that he was developing more psychic abilities. And I've had people ask me to teach psychic classes, and I'm like, I wouldn't even know where to begin, other than what I do on a show. Would he advise people to actually try to become more sensitive, more psychic, more all of that? Or would he say to us, just wait, you will develop it at the time that you need it. Don't even bother looking at it, because it's not something you can learn, it's something that you just sort of evolve into. Is that clear?
Yeah. He says it's not something you have to dwell on unless you want to. You make your decisions over here, and you can make your decisions over here, and once you realize you can, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to be experiencing the more things that you wanted to experience. He says, being psychically advanced is not a real important thing. Some people just remember how to do it, and others don't, and that's okay. Some of it is planned that way. Like, he says, okay, like me. I mean, I'm sitting there having my discussions. Okay, is this real? Am I really doing this? Am I leading people astray? Am I lying to people? Telling them that I'm hearing Dave and what he's saying? It just blows my mind that I can hear somebody I can't see, but I feel. I know them. I know they're there. And it's not just Dave. It's other people. It's strangers that will come to me at times for other people, for their people here who need a little encouragement or a little push. He says there are people like me, even though I doubt it's true. And I really have been convinced. As of this morning, I was convinced, yes, I am hearing Dave. I am experiencing Dave. It's real. And I have decided I'm not even going to sit and try to convince myself anymore, because I know now. And I will never try to convince others, because if they don't want to believe it, that's their choice. They don't have to believe it. I will tell you what I hear honestly. I will not embellish on it. I will tell you what I hear, period. And he says there are people like this that they have come over with that ability, along with wanting to experience their other things. It's not something that everyone should be doing. I mean, it's not an urgent thing. You have to learn this. No, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do over here, except leave when it's your time to leave. And then you have no choice.
Well, speaking of the leaving, I'm assuming he means the transition from 3D to ultrasound, wherever they go.
Yeah.
Walt is many times talked about the concept of the lower soul, and that you have a lower soul that's in charge of, let's say, that 3D body, and that at the time of death, as you're passing, sometimes the lower soul can actually get into another person that might be there with you. And that there used to be, I forget what he called them, rainbow people or something, that would guide, that's not it, but that would guide the lower soul back into the understanding of, okay, your job here is over now. You don't have to worry about it. It's whatever. But he's gone through that, the transition. I know you did too, but your 3D stayed there and was still okay and you got back into it. Can he expound on what people should do or think about when they're near the transitional point that might assist the person that's transitioning, but also protect the people that might be around that, because we never talk about death in the concept of, it's a procedure. And is there anything that he can do to advise people in this?
No. It's something that we go through. It's not something you're going to be prepared for. It's what he says. The best thing he can say about it is try to stay out of your way. Try to stay out of your own way.
Just go with the flow type of thing?
Yes, and he's saying to me, there's a lot of talk about when you go over there, don't go to the light or tell them these words or those words and basically be in charge of where you're going. Well, actually, those things don't really come into play. He can't really get in depth about that. He says it wouldn't hurt to say, I'm tired, I don't want to do it again, please take me home to the Maker. He said it wouldn't hurt to say that, but you will probably end up where you're meant to end up, irregardless. It's not that you're forced. If you really, really, really have an objection to something, you won't be forced into doing anything you don't want to do. He keeps emphasizing that. And he can't tell us. He says, if you want to hear about the afterlife experience, you'll have to talk to those who have experienced it. And he's not saying any more about it. He says he can only tell us so much, and he's told us what he can.
I thought I was talking to somebody that could experience it. That had experienced it. Isn't he dead yet?
The thing is, he's gone all the way. Evidently, there's more. He's gone all the way. He can't go any. He says, damn it, Nancy, take my words. You can talk to those who have gone as far as they could go and came back. Other than that, you're not going to learn any more.
Oh, okay. So people that have had the near-death experience is who he's talking about, not somebody that's actually just gotten out of the body and is on the other side.
Right. And he used the words, damn it, Nancy, so he's serious.
Listen, Dolly, not to take over your show, but it's the top of the hour. You want to take a break?
Oh, yes, please. Dave, we're taking a break.
Can we have a break, Dave?
Yeah. He says, all right. Seeing as Annette came home even.
He's saying, go pee, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
All right.
And we are back. Except I'm not hearing Dolly. I hear...
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to unmute, and I have to answer. Thank you for telling me. Sure. Walt sent me a message saying, "Hi, Dolly. I asked Colleen to let you know Royce now has a carnelian and shungite pendant I sent him." So that's really cool that Walt did that.
Yes, it is.
Also sent him a fridge magnet and stickers. Woohoo!
Bless Walt's heart.
Okay, let me. Bless your heart. Okay. All right. Now, there was something I was going to say. My computer's giving me fits. My little mouse, it doesn't want to go where I want it to. I don't know why. It's wanting to do that jerky stuff.
Yeah. Have you had your computer running for quite a while?
No, Okay, so what was I going to say, Dave? I forgot. Oh, I wanted to answer this question Now O'Clock asked. Will Dave say why humans seem so slow to learn? He says, well, he kind of has sort of answered that, because humans are here to experience at their own rate. That's why. And they don't make judgment as to slow or fast. He says they can always come back if they need to. So, they're evidently experiencing what they need to experience at that moment in time. And he says sometimes they get in their own way because they fall into the traps of, what traps? I don't know how to say that in words. There's just traps here that we can fall into, like wanting to get too analytical about something, or anything like that. He says they're doing fine. Who's to judge them to say they're slow at learning, he says. Don't be too harsh to judge, because we're basically doing what we want to do. And that's the way it is. Okay, enough about that.
Let me ask him, will he talk about, like, the concept of our soul, our star families? Does he want to give us some kind of insight into where we all came from? I mean, the Earth is here, but we've been mucked with, apparently, by ET groups and the change of our DNA and all of that sort of concept, the ancient alien thing. Can he expound on that?
No.
Not expound?
He says, so much emphasis is being put on this stupid alien subject. He said, let it go. What happened in the past happened in the past. What makes you think that DNA developments haven't come from the higher being directly? Why is it you all have to think a being has to mess with you? An intermediary has to mess with you. He says, how am I going to say that? I got to be nice. Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, like in the Bible it says, or at least at one time it said, he's teasing me about the mucking with the Bible and the timelines. There will be false prophets throughout eternity, throughout time. He says, some of these false prophets can come across pretty cleverly. You have to beware of who you're listening to say what. They may seem to you to be very truthful and all that, but they are good at what they're doing. He says there are alien beings that really are truly alien beings. And just like humans, earthlings, there's good and bad. So just like you do with human beings, beware, be careful, go with your gut feeling. Are they telling you a bunch of stories? Or are they being truthful? And he says they will probably trip themselves up in many ways. And I'm not just talking aliens now, I'm talking humans that have come from the dark side. Because we do have a dark side, and they do send beings. He says, just beware. Don't go off half-cocked and somebody says something and you just believe it. He says, do your research. Do your feelings. Like, does it feel true? Do I get goosebumps when they're telling me something fantastically ridiculous that they want me to believe? Or what do you feel? What does your gut say? What, do you get goosebumps? Do your hair stand up? And that's all I can say about that. I don't know what other words I can use.
Now Clock is asking, are you coming back? To Dave. Is he
I was going to say, am I coming back from where?
Oh, no. Is Dave going to make another reappearance in the 3D, or doesn't he know, or doesn't he think so? I mean, I'm supposing it's up to him.
He says, that's to be determined. And actually, he can't talk about things like that. So, I can't really address that issue.
Can you say anything about the fact that there is a breakaway civilization where you have a secret space program?
Oh man, he's making me laugh. He says, Nancy, they got a lot of secret shit everywhere. Yes, there is yes, there's stuff going on with space. And that's all he can say.
Well, can he tell us, like he made reference to the dark side, is the concept of the devil and the fallen angel and the war in heaven, is all that at play still?
Oh, yeah. There's battles going on constantly. There always has been.
Good and evil?
Yes. And he says it's not a farce. It's not pretend. It's real. It's very real. We have beings fighting for our souls all the time, on the good side and the bad side, he says. It's very real, he said. He wishes he could go into it more, but even he can't. Okay. Okay. Well, he's going on a little bit more. He says a lot of people don't believe there's good and bad. Well, that's their issue. There is good and bad, and there are battles going on against each other. So, he's sorry for those that don't believe it. But that's their choice. They have free will. That's their choice. Okay. And that's all it... Go ahead.
Yesterday, a friend of mine, Harley, was walking down the street in Miami, and there was an orange cone, like a caution cone in the road.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of this caution cone was this statue of Ganesh, the Hindu god, the elephant-looking god, sitting on top of it. With nobody around, just this orange cone in the middle of the road with this statue on it. And Harley felt that it was his, that he could take it, that it was put there for him to take it, but he brings it to me. And he gives it to me, and I'm like, whoa, this is like synchronicity plus. My question is, the gods, all the gods that, all the Hindu gods, all of the Greek gods, all of these characters that still permeate our societies and our civilizations, are they based on real godlike people, or are they ETs pretending to be gods, or are they inner earth people pretending to be gods? Can he talk or expound a little bit on the gods?
I'm listening. Hold on. He seems to be having a discussion with something. Hold on. No, he cannot comment on that. That is part of faith. He's having a discussion. Hold on. No, he's being told he cannot comment on that. That's part of faith. You have to draw your own conclusions on that.
Okay, then can I ask, if you believe in something and I say that reality is what you think it is, but if you believe in something, do you make it real?
Yes. Is that it? He says, what else can I say about it? Yes. Okay, there's your answer.
There are some guests that are easy to interview, and there's some guests that aren't.
I know. I say that all the time. Don't give me yes and no answers. Talk to me about it. He says, well, that was a yes or no answer. Ask me a more in-depth question. We thought that was in-depth. He's laughing. Annette says, how can someone else take our soul? I don't think anything could take something from me that I don't authorize. No, Annette, nobody can take your soul unless you give it to them. Dave says your soul is your soul, or your soul is you, and no one can take you from you unless you give it. Thank you. Madjust. What is at the North Pole? Why is Antarctica the only one they are focusing on? Because what other issue would you like them to focus on, Madjust, is what he's saying. At this point in time, people's attentions were drawn to Antarctica, and someday they'll be drawn to other places of interest. But for now, that's what is being promoted to focus on, and that's where people's attentions are going. See, they're being directed. There is stuff there. He can't tell me what's there. There is stuff there, but it's going to have to be found at the right time, the right place, the right people. It will be found at the right. And that's all he's saying about that. He says his biggest issue right now is unity. He wants people to unite. There are a lot of beings out there, and he's saying to me also that there are beings that have been taken over by the dark side that are in places that can influence people in great numbers or little numbers, because you got to start little in order to get big. And these people are scared now because Earth's energies have been changed. Earth and space's energies have been changed due to this Trump issue. And it's not in the name Trump, it's in the fact that the people a majority of people were able to say, no, we've had enough, which gave the energies the ability to change things up and make it so something new comes into us, and that newness is in the form of Trump at this point, but he was just the factor that makes everybody sit up and take notice and realize, oh my gosh, there are other things out there that we can do, that we can make happen. We don't have to live in this hell anymore. The hell that was in ourselves, the hell that we help to perpetuate by letting the same old crap go on and on and on. And this is why he came here. He says so much exciting things are going to happen, and it's because people are starting to wake up and realize we don't have to be told these stupid, ridiculous things and follow the stupid, ridiculous things. We can finally say, no, I'm a human being, I have free will, and you're not the boss of me anymore. I'm going to start to take my life in my own hands, and I'm going to live for the good of me and the good of my family and friends. And he says, and that will go out like he told us about the tree, the trunk of the tree, and then the branches came up and they started moving around, and then there's all the roots under the tree. He said people are going to realize their free will. They're going to start to experiment with, what do I really want? Okay, I've been living this suppressed life for so long. What do I really want? Who am I really? Why did I come here? And we're going to unite in order to help each other to get over the shock of being able to be us finally, to realizing we can be us, and realize that when we are together, like the Standing Rock thing, we can make a difference. Even if they don't stop drilling, we have made a difference in uniting. It's the unity part. It's the part where we have realized we have free will. For real.
Look, can I interject and see how he, if he comments on this? Standing Rock. You know, there's all these different camps, and right now there's lots of dissension going on between. But what's coming about from that is, for instance, LaDonna is inviting everyone, you know, because when this snow melts, all of this snow, so far they've had nearly 60 inches of snow. When all it melts, there's a floodplain there at Standing Rock, I believe where Osheti, I'm going to say it wrong. Anyway, where that's at, it's going to flood, so they're asking everyone to move their camps, which doesn't necessarily mean remove, but just move them to higher ground. And Donna said, come on over here. And she's also, it's in the works, to create a green society with green progressive energy, self-sustainability, which I think is what we need to start doing. And is that one of the things that Dave's talking about as far as with the fight against the pipeline and the fracking and all of that stuff, the stuff that's destroying the earth? It's kind of forcing us to think outside of the circle, so to speak.
He says, yes, there's dissension, but in that dissension they are still united. And in the dissension they are working out their differences. Some are pretty hot-headed and pretty adamant about their own views, but the majority are going to come to where they learn to unite, and they also learn at the same time, when you're united, you can also disagree. You can also accept to disagree on certain issues and work them out in different ways. And he is showing me that there is movement there. So I'm assuming that means they're going to, it's big movements. They're going to move their camps to safety. He says, but there's going to be some of the silly idiots who will stay in the flood area and end up in trouble because that's just the way they are right now. But just love them anyway. He says love them to death. Hold on. Back it up. There, Standing Rock is a big in-your-face learning situation for everybody in the world, including those who have come and thought they were going to make trouble with the Earthlings. The Earthlings can take care of themselves. That's why they're here. They can do this. We are in a position now with the standing rock in everybody's faces. Everybody in the earth, on the earth. They're learning that, yes, all these different tribes can live together, share their sustenance things, learn new ways for sustenance, and learn that they don't have to all agree on something to be a certain way, that there are many ways a certain thing can be done, and learn to accept that these people, this group of people wants to do it this way, while this group of people wants to do it that way, and that group of people wants to do it this way. It's fine. They're all doing it in a way that they think is right, and you can still unite because the end product will be the same thing. And so he really is excited over Standing Rock, saying there's going to be more. There's going to be more situations where people unite. And this is a huge time in our existence, because we realize we are our own saviors. Look inside, dig deep, look inside, realize you are your own savior, and by being your own saviors, you can help others who want the help. You cannot force it upon them. You cannot take over for them because you think they aren't good enough to do it or they aren't doing it right. He says, we have the free will, and we're going to learn with our free will. We can unite and everybody use their free will the way they want to and end up with the same result. And that's all I have about that. Anything else? Go ahead.
The cabal, or the people that are in charge, the powers that were, we like to say, or powers that are they fueled by the evil? Is the evil in control of them? I'm sort of like looking at the concept of, yes, we make decisions whether to be good or bad, but is there an evil that is permeating these people at a level that they're almost not human because they have given their souls over to the dark side?
Yeah.
Oh no, is this another yes or no question?
Hold on. This is really far out. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to say. He says that, yes, they have given their soul over. They've freely given it away to the dark side, dark entities, and you can't live in darkness without it transforming yourself and the shell that you're living in. Even the human body will change into not so good things. And the thoughts, of course, go toward, the thoughts in the cabal beings end up being fear-driven. They're afraid. They're afraid of everything. They're afraid of losing control, which they already have. They're afraid of what someone will do to them. They're afraid of losing power and finances, and they are fear-based. And he's showing me they're eating themselves up from the inside out. And they are being directed. Because they turned themselves over, they don't have any free will anymore. And so that's the answer to that.
So, Colleen, you got anything more? I'm like, not sure the questions that I'm asking are the ones that he'll answer. I know I've lost a few of them here. But,
he says you can only ask me and I can say no or I can answer.
Right. And I sort of like him into this concept of, okay, what about the Bible and these other books and these other prophecies of, the end times? Are any of them accurate? Are any of them at play at this point in time? I feel like we're in the beginning of something that's never happened before. And that all of those, there's certain of them that are bleeding into what is happening now. But I'm firmly convinced that Revelations is just not in the playbook anymore. Can you comment on any of those?
He says, just remember they were written by man. They were, in the beginning, they were pretty pure. Came from the Word of God, but then there were so many hands that were put on it, so many different interpretations that were made, and they were made by humans, and humans always think they can make things better, or they can change things to make things better for them, or he says it started out pure. The concept of what was meant, teaching love, he says that he realizes there were a lot of wars, but he says there's always wars going on somewhere. And it's usually because it basically comes down to good versus evil. Sometimes it looks like it's just frickin' evil. But he says it really boils down to war is war, period. He's not going to expound on it anymore. Either you accept it or you don't. It doesn't matter. It's there. The Bible, the books, other books that are coming out, he says we're going to be discovering more books by authors who are writing from the spirit side, writing. That are going to be enlightening to the people, that are going to help them to see things in different ways. But basically, if you look at the Bible right now, you'll look at its main goal is please learn to love and accept and realize that you are free spirits. And if you're not free spirits, you don't act upon the fact that you're free spirits, and trouble comes in. Then we get trouble. Yeah, there's many hands in that Bible situation. And he says we manifest things with our thoughts. The Bible, what predictions you might see, you might say, oh, there's predictions in the Bible, revelations. He said, No, give me a minute, okay? Give me a minute. Revelations, Dave. He says basically revelations will come to pass unless there's a big miracle where all people, do learn to love each other and get along. But he says, yeah, there's going to be like a revelation. And he can't expound on it. But we can change things. He wants to say we can change things with our thoughts, which go into energies, which manifest things. Just keep that in mind. If you don't like the way something is going and you know it's against more than just you, even if it's something that's just against you, that's just aimed at you, you can change it. You can leave it. Walk away from it. Don't accept it. Don't let it into your life. Don't let it affect you anymore. Look at it. Explore it. Give it some love and send it on its way. He says, definitely look at it, explore it. Do some research into why is this issue here. See what you can learn from it, and then send the rest of the stuff away in love. And Revelations, Dave, Revelations. He has trouble with Revelations, so he can't really tell us a whole lot, he says, yes, a thing like Revelations is going to happen. But we also can manifest some good stuff to go along in there. It doesn't all have to be bad, is what he's saying. And that is all he can address about that.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Vanessa's asking, do those who are in control of the dark negative forces believe that this is the only life here and now?
Yeah. Well, he says that kind of leads back to Revelations. The dark forces are trying to take over the light. They want to, how do I say that? The dark forces want to be in control because they're all pissed off at the light forces. Because those in the dark forces are miserable, and they want everyone else to be miserable too, and they want to rule the world in misery. It's not that they do see that there's the light forces. They definitely see that. Some of, I don't know how to say that. They chose everyone in the dark forces, in the dark world, the dark atmosphere, environment, chose to be there. For one reason or another, they chose to be there. Can they eventually get out of there? If they have a change of what they desire, he says he doesn't know. That's entirely up to the source. But yes, the dark forces know the light forces are here, and they try to manipulate them, and the light forces know the dark forces are here. And I hope.
Well, it just seems so obvious to us that you'd want to live in the light versus the dark, that it's kind of like, what is the matter with you people?
I know, but that's the way we think. That's the way we think. There are people who I cannot understand how they think. But I can't look at them and say, well, you stupid idiots, what are you doing to yourselves? That's their choice. All I can do is pray for them. Pray for their souls. And try to send them love. And, I still will sit back and scratch my head and say, what the heck? What are you doing? Why do you see what you see the way you see it? Where are you coming from? I don't understand. And Dave says everything I said, he agrees.
Let me ask you, what do you think of Pope Francis?
He said, what's he think of popes? You could have just stopped with the Pope. He really can't. He can't answer that question the way you want him to answer that question, because he looks at things differently where he is. Everyone is fulfilling what they need to be fulfilling. And, can't you tell us anything about? He says that's where the word faith comes in, and we have to deal with it in our own way that we look at the word faith. He says it's not just the popes, it's everybody we look at. We're all the same. Nobody has any higher stance in life than anybody else. It's just the things, the titles that humans have put on these different areas. But if you look at that being individually, take the title out, look at it as a person, as a being. Either you can love them, even though what they're doing appears to be bad. He says the key word here is love. And he can't tell us his feelings on people because they aren't really like we have feelings regarding people. Dave is in a different place. He has different, for lack of words, he has different feelings. It's different. He says Earth is a different entity than where he's at right now. And there are different entities than where he is. Different places than where he is. And, I guess that's all I have to say about that. I hope it
Let me ask you this. Does he remember other past lifetimes other than Dave Corso?
Yeah, he did when he was here. Yeah.
And what's he think? What's he think about karma? How are these lifetimes connected? Is it just learning, going through experiences in the different bodies and different times and places?
Hold on, let me think. Let me try to get what he's. It's hard sometimes. I can't really. I can't get the words. I can't. Okay. Karma, Dave. Karma. He says it's not really that it's a karma issue. It's not how well even. Damn it. English language sucks. It's how you go about doing what you do. It's the experiences you're having that is looked at when you move on, but it's not looked at in a judgmental type way, he says. It's looked at as when you were going through it, what was it you were feeling? What were you thinking? What was the experience? And what was it you brought away from it that you wanted to learn by going through the experience? He says, it's not really karma. He says, quit beating yourselves up. Just because you told somebody to go play with themselves doesn't mean you're going to have to live that down for three more life cycles. He says, it's not like that. And he can't really explain it to me any differently because that also goes into part of faith and experiencing what we came to experience here and learn. Oh, boy. I'm sorry I can't give you better answers when I'm giving you what I can.
I'm fine with it. Are you okay? You're strong enough to finish well, we only got 9 minutes left. Good Lord.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, now we got, Betiva. Aloha. Are Prince William and Kate also controlled by the dark side, or will they break through?
That is not something he will address. That's their issue.
Okay. K-Girl is asking, please ask Dave if we can do this again at some point. Oh, a live interview.
Oh, my gosh.
I was wondering what she was talking about. Like,
not next week, okay? Dave's all for it. He likes doing it.
Well, I think that if he's got an idea he's going to do it, we'll know.
Yeah, he says.
Wake up! I got something to tell you. You know, the other funny thing was, I'm sitting here and you're doing the first part, you know, where you're introducing things and stuff, and all of a sudden he says, I get this message that I've forgotten something. I need something. Something has to be with me. And I'm going like, what am I forgetting? I'm looking around and I'm looking and stone. What? Every time I do a radio show, I put in earrings that are shungite earrings.
Oh.
And I didn't have them in.
He knew it.
And he knew it. It's like, put the earrings in. Oh, okay.
He says, see, that's part of energies.
Yeah.
Just a minute. I'm being overwhelmed. Okay, just give me a second here. He says, I did pretty good with not feeling good like I wasn't today. But he had this important mission that he wanted to get out, and he knew that Colleen and Nancy could help me get through it. And don't forget, push yourselves now that you can be, if you're not, and a lot of us are, in this new place where we realize we have free will, we can exercise it. We don't have to say, we don't have to do what we have been programmed to do from birth. It says take control of your own lives. This is the time. And the unity will help us to do it. Seek out those who are in your position, those who can help you, who are a little farther along. And he said, and don't forget to help those who are seeking your help. And this was the important thing he wanted to get across to us today. And he said, yes, we can do it more, but he'll contact us when he is told that it's an okay thing to do with me. And he says, I can go ahead and pull the angel card. And he wants me to do it right now at this moment in time. And he says, Nancy, don't say what's in your mind. I don't know what that is. He says, give her a minute. Okay. Angels, I have the angel cards in front of me. Please look at who's here and who will be listening in the future. And guide me to the right card. Okay. Okay, it was back here. Oh, all right. This card? Or this card? It's this card. Oh, my God. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Dave. Okay, here we go. Let me get to the angel cards. This card is number 22. Archangel Ramiel. Peace. Archangel Ramiel is here to remind you that peace is your true nature. It is something that is a natural state for your heart. Ramiel knows that you may not remember a time where you truly felt at peace in your heart. They bring you peace to your heart now in this moment. Close your eyes and feel this peace, this deep peace that is now flowing from Ramiel's heart to your heart. Open your heart to receive Ramiel's peace. Take some deep breaths and just receive this deep peace. Give thanks to Ramiel for this peace. You may call upon Ramiel at any time, and you may also send Ramiel to others so that they may have peace in their hearts as well. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Archangel Ramiel. Thank you, God. Okay, I'm going to post that here in the chat so you can all read it at your leisure. I want to say thank you, Dave. Thank you for waking Nancy up and frustrating me and sharing with people what you wanted to share with them. And you have anything, Nancy and Colleen?
No, just a big thank you and a hug for all he does. And, you know, his energy is just, it just is confirming. It's like getting a big hug from a daddy.
Yeah.
Big teddy bear type of hug. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank him. Well, Dave, I want to thank you for getting through to me, even though I am rather thick-headed and insensitive. You still manage to get through, I think.
I think he does, too.
It's like, damn it, Colleen.
Yeah, he loves us all. And yes, he's so very thankful that we all kept this up, that JP worked so hard to get it, to do what he had to do to get it so that we still have it. And that's all Dave has to share with us. So, Nancy, you want to tell us what you have coming up on Say What?
Yeah, Jan Moore is going to be there with Joseph Gabby. oh geez, I forgot his name already. He's a numerologist, and he's seems like motivation. I think it'll be a good show, and because he was trained as a scientist. I love these people that are trained as scientists, and then all of a sudden start realizing that the science is leading them to metaphysics, and so it should be interesting. But he's a numerologist, and Jan Moore will be with us.
Cool.
And so people know, Debrielle, who normally would be in the slot with us as the co-host, she's having, family medical issues, and it's brought the entire family together, but it's also taken her out of the loop for probably the next weeks.
Yeah.
So say a prayer for Deb and her family. And, so Jan Moore's filling in for her.
So, Colleen, can you tell us what else is going on after that?
Yes, I can, if I unmute myself. Coming up after Say What will be Up Crossers Creek with Emily and Glenn Norcross. I'm not quite sure what their show's going to be about, but it's always quite interesting and fun. And then after that is Producer's Choice, where I'll be playing replays of today's shows and all the live shows that you may have missed when they were live will be played throughout the evening for those in the UK and Australia, although we do have some Australians in here with us, even though there's like a 12-hour difference in time there, maybe 13. So that's what's going on this evening.
Very nice. I always like Saturday's lineup. I really do. Okay, so I'm kind of tired out right now, y'all, so I'll be listening from the chair and watching Naughty Nook.
Alrighty, you get some
And
rest.
I love y'all. Thanks for coming.
Love you
Thanks,
too.
Colleen.
And thank you, and thank Dave for throwing you some energy so you could get through this today, because I know it's very, very taxing on you.
Yeah. We had a house showing, so I was all energized from the house showing because the couple sounded very interested. They were here for a long time, and the guy came out in the garage and said, I'm just planning where to put my stuff in my garage or something like that. Annette caught my garage.
Ooh.
So hopefully we'll see what comes through. So all right, I'm done, y'all. I love you.
Love you too. I'm going to put on your outro, and while it's playing, try to get up the next show. Thank you. See y'all later.
Thank you, Dolly.
Bye.
Thanks, kid. Bye.
Thanks,
See you in a
Nancy.
minute, Nance.
Yep.